Welcome to the Football News and Views show. This is a show which I talk about all the football news that has occurred around Europe and the world. The first story is PSG have successfully signed Sissoko and Sirigu. PSG, recently bought by Arab billionaires, have had a lot of cash to spend, making them one of the richest clubs in the world, very comparable to Manchester City. Now, they have just recently signed Sissoko, which has been heavily linked to the Premier League, and Sirigu, which is a keeper that used to play in Parma. As well, they have also just recently signed as well Pastore, which is highly rated player. Chelsea were also allowed to him, but they managed to sign him for a total of 43 million euros, which is equivalent to 37.5 million pounds. The second story is, this is quite a big story. Manchester City have successfully signed Sergio Aguero from Atletico Madrid. This deal was worth a total of 35 million, although his wages are currently 200,000 a week, and he has signed a 5-year deal, meaning that the entire deal is combined worth a total of 52 million, meaning that his wages will be more than the actual transfer fee, which is actually quite a remarkable transfer. And the question in mind is, will he be successful in Manchester City, or will he be a flop? So we'll have to see what happens, but in my eyes, I think he's going to be a fantastic player. I can't wait to see him play for Manchester City in the Community Shield. The United States have fired the coach Bob Bradley, and this comes after the poor results recently in the Gold Cup, and this actually came after they lost 4-2 to Mexico, and Bradley has been in charge of the United States for a total of 4 years. And they actually have replaced Bob Bradley with former German coach Jürgen Klinsmann, and he will take charge of the United States. In more manager news, Argentina have a new manager, Alejandro Sabella, which is the new Argentinian coach. And this has happened after the sacking of Sergio Batista due to the poor results in the Copa America. And this is actually, and the last time Argentina had won a trophy was back in 1993, which was the Copa America. Back to European news, and we start off with Aston Villa signing Charlton and Zogbia on a 5-year deal worth £9.5 million. This will come to the long end of the Zogbia saga, which saw Sunderland linked Newcastle, Liverpool, and Villa finally got the man for a deal worth £9.5 million. In Spain, Rossi has announced that he will stay with Villarreal. This comes after being heavily linked with Juventus, and he has decided to stay, and especially because Villarreal managed to sell Santi Cazorla to Malaga for a total of £19 million, meaning that they have sort of made sure that they have enough money, meaning that they can actually keep Rossi. And since Juventus did miss out on Rossi, they have signed Guzzini from Roma, which is a total of £13.1 million, which in euros is 15 million, and has signed a 4-year contract. Other clubs linked with Guzzini consisted of Manchester United and Tottenham, which were reported to be talking to the player themselves, but they have missed out on actually signing him. Juventus have already signed Pirlo, Vidal, Liechtensteiner, and Zegal, so they have been quite busy, and their goal is to go back to the top of Serie A and possibly win a trophy or two. And back to some Premier League news, Gerrard will miss the beginning of the season due to a groin injury, and will be out until Saturday the 10th, and this injury occurred since March, so he will be back for the game against Stoke. And some news around the world, the World Cup qualified draw in Europe has been announced, and nothing really too interesting. The only interesting thing is that France will be playing against Spain in Group I, so that's one fixture to keep an eye out in the World Cup qualifiers. And now for something a bit more funny, I guess. When New York Red Bulls played against Arsenal in the Emirates Cup, Henry asked if he could actually play 5 minutes for Arsenal, because he does love the club, and that is the club which he kind of made his name for. And supporters all love him and everything, so he was really desperate to, play 5 minutes for Arsenal. But the move was blocked at halftime by the referee, stating that you cannot play for 2 teams in 1 game. So that kind of sucked for Henry. He did do a lap of honor and everything, but just to have the Arsenal shirt back on him would have been something spectacular. There's actually some big news that has occurred in the Premier League. Joey Barton has been released by Newcastle United, and he's now available on a free transfer. He still had 1 year left on the contract, and this happened after Joey Barton was criticizing the Newcastle transfer policy on Twitter, and now Manchester United are after him. Arsenal, Stoke City have all made inquiries and have already spoken to the agent, and Tottenham seems to be also starting to step up their interest in Joey Barton. And what's quite astonishing is that he did win Newcastle's Player of the Year, and they just released him like that. So We'll see what happens in that situation, but Joey Barton has been forced to train alone, and he isn't quite happy with the entire situation since he loved the club Newcastle United. And our final story is Liverpool flop Milan has moved back to Belgium, and he has signed for Anderlecht for a 2-year deal. And that's all the news in this episode, but do not go yet because we still have one more thing to show you. This is the video of the month, meaning the most popular video in August on the sports pages related to football. Now this video is Mario Balotelli missing because he tried to do a trick shot and subbed off by Roberto Mancini. Now this video got a total of 8 million views, so that's quite a pretty interesting video, so here's just a look for you guys to laugh a bit.
Beautifully timed run, Balotelli to make it 2. And are you kidding?
Serious?
Mario Balotelli.
I'll tell you right now, if Mancini takes him out, that's the kind of man I want to play for.
Yeah, good on Mancini.
And that is all for this episode. Thank you for watching this episode of Football News and Views. We'll be back next week for more news. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, like, all do that. And we'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate your time and watching this video.